This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Hey, after a string of home burglaries, we have some new tips on how you can avoid becoming a victim. And with David Bobzien filling an at-large seat, the process to replace his current spot begins. Plus, just how much did the recent storm help us with our drought? Those stories top your news right now. It's a minute after 5. It's your Friday. Nothing else matters. Friday, December 5th, 2014. Hi. Good morning. Hope you had a good sleep. I'm John Potter.
I'm Andy Guevara. Thank you for starting your day with Channel 2 News. This morning, we're going to take a quick look at the weather with Jeff Martinez.
Hey, Jeff.
All right. Hello. Finally, it's Friday. John and Andy, good morning. Look out for some foggy conditions, some patchy to dense fog in some of the valley areas. Otherwise, not a bad day today. Make it up to 57 for the high. A few light showers are possible by this afternoon and evening. We'll talk about that coming right up. Have a great Friday.
Yeah, you know, the recent storms that brought us the snow and the rain in the Truckee Meadows, they helped with the drought that we're in.
Yeah, hydrologists say the Truckee River is now 3 to 4 times higher than it was just a few weeks ago, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. Tumwa says every little bit of precipitation does help considering how dry we've been over the last 3 years, and they are hoping for a good winter.
You'd want it to snow the entire winter and just start to melt off around the end of March, early April, because at that point we can close the gates to all the upstream reservoirs and capture it.
Well, Hawk says, though, it's not going to last unless we continue to get storms. But he says storms like these that we've had have been good because they help soak the soil. Back in August, Tumwa asked customers to cut back their water usage by 10%, and it has helped.
Regardless of what this winter brings us, we're going to go into next summer with full drought reserves, which is pretty remarkable.
Well, Tumwa is still asking all of us to continue limiting the water usage.
Nothing worse than seeing the sprinklers going off at places when it's raining.
True.
Let's get a check of the forecast, see if there's another storm on the horizon. Big Jeff again. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, John and Andy. Yeah, well, this past week has certainly been a good start to recovering from our drought, but we need several more storm systems just like the one we had over the past few days to make a dent in our drought situation. But certainly it helped out there. We saw almost 2 feet of snow across many of the ski resorts. As you can see there, a good 20 inches at Mount Rose, Squaw Valley, almost 2 feet, about that for North Star. So good snow for the December to start things off, get that ski season going, build up that snowpack. Our average high is 48 degrees. Talking about precipitation, here in Reno in just the past 4 days, we've seen almost 7/10 of an inch of rain. So very good news for us. That's almost all of what we get for the entire month. So very good news for us, and it looks like we do have another storm system on the way about a week from today if everything holds together just right. Traffic moving along well. We do have an accident, or actually a motorist assist, a disabled vehicle 395 northbound at Clear Acre, so look out for some delays around there. All mountain passes are open with no controls. Good news there. If you are traveling this weekend, we should be just fine over the passes. 34 degrees your current temperature. We have 26 in Lovelock. A little bit of fog developing in the Carson Valley once again. So we'll look at the satellite and radar. Again, the storm system's just off to our north, and that'll just bring us a few clouds today, a few scattered showers late tonight into tomorrow morning. Talk about all of that with your weekend forecast and your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Have a great Friday and weekend. John and Andy, back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Jeff. Well, the Washoe County Commission is now looking to fill an assembly seat that was left empty by David Bobzien after the city council selected him to fill its at-large seat.
Bobzien represented District 24 that spans from the University of Nevada area down to parts of Virginia Lake. Now, qualified candidates have to live in the district and be registered to vote. Commissioners hope to avoid a special election, saying that could cost hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars. Now, their process is going to be up for discussion at the county meeting next Tuesday.
And in Safety Watch this morning, following a string of home burglaries and sparks that we told you about yesterday, police are now offering some advice to make sure that you aren't the next victim. They say theft is usually a crime of opportunity, so residents should take steps like locking doors and windows or even adding additional window locks and dowels. And also keep your valuables out of sight. Unfortunately, those presents under the tree as well.
Well, Reno police have a man in custody, this guy, for admitting to causing more than $11,000 in graffiti damage, and he smiles for the mugshot. 19-year-old Rodrigo Campos was arrested last month and charged with 1 felony count of graffiti. They say he tagged more than 72 different locations in Reno over the past year. Why? So far this year, the city of Reno has spent almost $271,000 to clean up all the graffiti. If you notice it and you'd like to report it, call Reno Direct at 334-4636.
And School Watch this morning, when you think of graduation, well, you probably think of the spring, but
That's not the case for university students. They're going to be putting on their caps and gowns tomorrow. Landon is live at Lawler Event Center this morning with a preview of graduation and a closer look at the job outlook this year for these grads. Hi, Landon.
Hey, good morning, John. Good morning, Andy, to both of you guys this morning. During like the May graduation season, during undergraduate graduation during May, you see about 2,000, if not more graduates, but tomorrow it'll be about half that number. And for that reason, the job outlook is looking pretty good.
So they've had a lot of months to connect with employers, get those applications in, and they're entering the job market at a good time. Less competition, a lot of companies have needs. This is a good time to graduate.
The University of Nevada says there will be just under 1,100 bachelor's degrees being handed out tomorrow, as well as 381 advanced degrees. That's just about the same number of students who graduated last fall. We caught up with some soon-to-be grads yesterday, and they tell me while they're going right into the workforce, and some others are going to continue their education.
I decided to graduate during the fall only because I plan on taking about 6 months off to study for my GRE.
I'm pretty sure in the spring there's 30 to 40 students that graduate, so it's exciting, feels a little more intimate.
Graduation starts tomorrow morning at 8:15, and another interesting thing too is a couple of years ago the university actually had to split the undergraduate days for graduation for the spring semester, just simply because there are too many students all to pack in on one day, so that's why they had to do that, and it's just one day for the fall. So that's another
that is
reason on that
amazing
front,
to
guys.
me, because I went there in '76 and I transferred out because it was so small. It's nothing like it is now.
changed. Yeah. Thank you, Landon.
Yeah.
Hey, check this out. Thanks, Landon. Millions of Americans are having difficulty paying off their federal student loans.
And some seniors are finding out what can happen if they default on those loans. The money can be taken out of their Social Security. And this is happening to people like Eileen Joyce. She took out a federal student loan to attend graduate school, but could not pay it back due to a disability. And recently, the government began taking it back by deducting over $100 a month from her Social Security check. Federal student loans are not forgiven, even after bankruptcy.
The government doesn't have to sue you to come after your assets. They can just swoop in and kind of start garnishing wages or Social Security benefits.
Well, now the federal government is required to send at least 3 delinquency notices to you before garnishing your Social Security.
Looking to our community now, great news. In a follow-up in a story we've been telling you about, our own Kristen Remington has learned that young Garrett Allen, remember him? He's found a bone marrow match. He's going to be receiving a transplant after all. Garrett was born with a rare blood disorder, and he was in need of a bone marrow transplant to fight the leukemia. And we here at Channel 2 News want to thank all of you who went out and got tested for Garrett.
So that last video there is when he was just a little guy. He was 4. He's 15 now. And the leukemia was a recent development. He's been fighting the blood disorder since forever.
It was difficult because he needed baby blood, which is different.
It is. It's a very pure blood. All of us, almost all of us, carry a virus that we don't even know we have because our body suppresses it. But if you give blood to a baby that's ill, like he was and is, it can kill him. And so he needed special blood. Our Kristen Remington is one of the donors. So
good old Goo-Goo. I Googled baby blood, and all I got were horror movies.
Oh.
So I couldn't learn much from that.